Happy Friday! Hello and welcome to RichKatRanch. Let me turn this music down. I'm playing with the music, the background music that StreamYard offers. And we'll see how long I can make it with my contacts today. I watch a channel on YouTube called That Chapter. It's a true crime channel. I watch a lot of that. And Mike, the host of that show, years and years and years, he's had glasses. And then suddenly, within the last couple of months, no more glasses. So I thought, you know what? It's not spring. I don't wear my contacts like the first half of the year because I have allergies and it really wreaks havoc on my eyes. But maybe it would be a little easier to wear them today. So I'm going to wear my contacts as long as I can today. So you guys will see a little different side of me. I realized when I was getting my makeup on, I don't even own any mascara. Again, because my eyes are so sensitive that I often just can't wear it. I'm sure you guys are fascinated to know that about me. Today's going to be, as always, kind of a mix and match. The guests I thought I was going to have on today were not able to do it. So I may just kind of reformat the show and try to just find some fun things for us to do from time to time. Hello, Sue. Thanks for being here today. I want to take a minute while I'm thinking about it first to thank those of you who are here with me live right now. And then also to thank the people who are watching as part of the rewatch crew. So all content creators appreciate both audiences, and it means a lot to me that you support the channel by watching my live streams. So today, here's what I have laid out for us. I am going to share some funny headlines, like newspaper, magazine headlines with you. And some of them, maybe you've seen them or heard of them before. But there were some, as I was looking for images to share with you, that really did make me laugh out loud. So I hope you find them at least half as funny as I found them. And then in the spirit of Grinchmas, we're going to talk today about pet peeves. I feel like this time of year, because people are, it's very busy and they've got a lot on their minds, with shopping and planning for guests and just the holiday in general. And in my experience, that often has meant some unpleasantness. I worked in retail off and on. I was an assistant manager with Pier 1 Imports. I started with the company in 2004, and I was with the company still when they closed their doors in 2020. Just part-time. So it's something that I did it full-time off and on, and then I did it part-time throughout the years. I started just as a seasonal employee, but a management position opened up. So I stayed on with the store. And when my late husband and I first moved back to Texas, there were no dental offices near where we lived that were hiring. So it was great to just jump into that. Let me see if there's anything else I need to tell you to set things up. Oh, so that just had to do with the fact that being in retail just exposes you to pretty much every kind of personality, every mindset, and not all of it is fun. So I thought, okay, we'll do a little Grinchmas thing. I've got like my list of top pet peeves, and we're going to go over the 75 most common pet peeves. And I'd love for you guys to let me know as I list them, which one is on your top 5 list. And I'll let you know as we go through them, which ones are on my top 5 list. And if there's something that I don't see on the list that bugs me, I'll let you know. But I figure this way we just can get it all out. Just purge it all out during the stream today and then let it go. And then for the rest of the holiday, just focus on the good stuff and the fun stuff and the pleasant stuff and the meaningful stuff and the things that make you smile and make you happy. So today's show is to make you smile and make you happy. All of my live streams are for that, but sometimes I have a guest that helps me do that. So at some point I will open the panel to have people come up and say hello, maybe talk about their pet peeves. I'm going to run my little banner again with my channel members who have YouTube. I mean, our channel. So they're channel members of Rich Cat Ranch who have their own YouTube channel. So you'll see their their subscriber counts going across the bottom of the screen again. And we might even pop in and just see if they've got anything new or exciting happening on their channel. But I'm probably not going to go through my little spreadsheet anymore. I feel like it takes up a lot of time. And there are a good number of channels now that really aren't actively working the channel. So I don't know if they're just focused on some other things right now. I don't know if they're still doing YouTube, but you know, I do still stay connected with them, and I try to keep up with them when I can. But I just think it might be time, as we're getting to year end, for me to shift my focus a little bit for my live streams, particularly since there aren't a lot of channels to be interviewed anymore. I think I have a nice batch of what was at the time, for the most part. I've had a couple of big channels on the show, but for the most part, it was small channels, brand new channels, and I wanted to kind of give them a leg up and introduce them to a new audience and some prospective new followers and subscribers. And so that was the purpose of the interviews. That was the purpose of going through the spreadsheet. But I just think it might be time for something new, and I'm excited to maybe do something new. I don't know exactly what that will mean yet, but I feel like this will give me another outlet to share some things with you guys that might not necessarily fit as videos on the channel. So I hope you continue to still hang out with me on Fridays, and we'll see what I can come up with. But for today, let me run my little banner to let you know about channel members and where they stand subscriber count. And again, we'll take a look. Let's take a look at their channels. So let me pull up a YouTube page. Oops. And we'll go to Joe Hupp first. Oops, if I can type. My keyboard that I had, I know I've had it as long as I've had this computer, so a year and a half or so. It just finally, I guess I use it too much. And so it got to the point where some of the keys didn't even work. Some of them I had to hit them real hard to get them to work. I tried cleaning it. And so I didn't know that keyboards could wear out, but I do use the keyboard a lot. So I got a new keyboard. It does feel a little different. So I'm not the best typist in the world anymore anyway. But let's look at this other screen. All right, and let's see what's going on at Joe Hupp's channel. Joe is in Australia. He often does pop into the chat, so hopefully we'll get to see him at least for a little while today. He's at 352 subscribers. Let's just see if there's anything new. So no new videos. I don't think that's a new short, but let me... go. So nothing new on the channel, but he's not like a full-time YouTuber, so that doesn't surprise me. Now let's look at Butler Family Farm. Oh, let's get on the right screen here. First up on the list here. All right, Jerry and Susan and the forever home of Daisy, the formerly known as Posey foster dog we had here. They are at 2,550 subscribers today. And Jerry did let me know that the last number is a 0. So, but let's see what they've got new in the way of videos. Oh, brand new video just 6 hours ago reviewing a Sacred Jar vacuum sealer. Ooh, I'm sure that is handy for you guys. And then let's see shorts wise. I'll just run this. I haven't seen this one yet, so I'm going to have to...
If it's brought out to the pasture,
oh, so that's just yesterday.
they will eat it.
I don't want to get any copyright issues. I would imagine if I was to play a video for someone who's a channel member or who follows my channel, when they get the notification about the copyright material, I would hope they would say, "Oh no, that's okay. That's just Kathy promoting our channel during her live stream." So hint, hint, hint. If I play a video or a short off of your channel, it's because I'm just doing my part to share you out, shout you out. All right, so that's Butler Family Farm. Now let's look at Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead. And they are at 2,380 something. This is another reminder for you guys that, let me take my banner off since I'm down here on the bottom. Oh, well, I don't want it. Yeah, I can take it off. This is just a reminder that when I'm looking for the subscriber count, see how I can only see the first 3 digits? So a digit to the left of the decimal and then 2 digits. So that's why I never know, is it 2,380 or is it 2,389 or something in between? So that's where that comes from when I can tell you, when I tell you that it's 2,380 something. That's why I have to say it that way. Okay, Jerry says I can play all of them if I like. Okay, so I might do that from time to time and maybe get with our channel member channels ahead of time and ask if I can show a video or a short during the stream. I just don't want to take view counts by having people watch the video through my live stream and not go to your channel and watch the video on your channel. So maybe I'll just do little teasers so they can get their appetites worked up to go and see. All right. And Jerry's working on the 100,000 number. So when that happens again, obviously I won't know what it is after 100,000. I'll just see the 100K and not know, is it 125,000? Or I guess maybe it would show me 125K, but it wouldn't show me then the hundreds after that 1,000 number. All right, so that was Jerry and Susan at Butler Family Farm. And now let's look at, oh no, that was Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. Let's look at Rooted in Texas. Okay, what is this? Oh, that's funny. Okay. I was thinking the other day, I can't remember now what Nina and Boyce at Rooted in Texas, they did a rebranding about a year ago, I think. And I can't remember what their channel name was before. Does anybody remember what their channel name was before? It's just bugging me that I can't remember what it was. All right, so let's see if they've got something new for us. 6 days ago, their most recent video. And shorts. I'll just do a little peek here so I can see. Well, no comments, so I can't tell if it's brand new short or not. Again, shorts are a nice way to keep your channel, keep your momentum going if you don't have time to do a video or just don't want to do another video. Oh, look, I cannot spell. So let's look at Mine Forked. Oh, I didn't tell you how many subscribers. So Rooted in Texas has 928 subscribers today. I guess I could have left the banner on the bottom, but I kind of like having my camera down here on the lower left because I feel like it doesn't get in the way of the screen as much as being over here on the side, and the screen is bigger that way. Now let's go to Mine Forked. My friend Akashi Chris, and let me do a shout out for her. She's got 515 subscribers as of today. She is doing, where did I see it? Okay, she's doing an open panel tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. And let's just read what because she's got a little thing here about what it's about. Let's get together as a community and catch up on all the latest news and interesting topics we're obsessed with and are peppered with on a daily basis. This will be an open StreamYard. All that is needed is a positive attitude, an open mind, kindness, tolerance, and a fork. so that you can be recognized to speak, and we can all get time to share. Come hang out with me on Sunday and raise your fork. So I plan to be there. I'd love to see some of you there. If you have not met Akashi Chris, she is a precious, precious person. She's talented, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's funny, and she has become a sweet friend of mine since I met her through YouTube. All right, so that is mind forked. Let's look at ordered steps. Ordered steps. Still holding on to that 1,320 something subscribers. Latest video 3 months ago. And I know I've seen this short, but let me just see how long. Walk like this. Oh, yeah, 7 months ago. Now, again, pretty girls walk like pretty girl. She's got some health issues she battles with every day. So I would imagine that really makes it challenging to find time. She has a full-time job and to find time to do YouTube. So those of you who are content creators, you know the kind of time commitments. And even when you're not actively working on a video, your brain is always working, or you're filming so that you've got material for another video. And hello, Paula Mulford. How are you? Thanks for being here today. So that could be part of what's going on with her, but she's been a channel member since channel memberships first became available. And she is a very inspirational and motivational person by nature. And that's what comes through in her videos. So I'd love for you to still go and check out her channel and tell her I sent you, and just let her know that you support her. So now let's get to hello, Helena. How are you? I hope I said that right. You can let me know if that's wrong. Welcome, everyone. If you will, please smash the like button for me. That's always appreciated. And after the stream, so I love that you're here commenting in the chat after the stream. It's also very appreciated if you'll leave a little comment under the video. I don't think the comments are open under the video right now, but once they are open, those things are part of what the YouTube machine looks at to choose what videos and channels it's going to promote by putting them in the recommended spots on that recommendations page. But let's get to, I'm going to close that. I think I can leave that open. And I'm going to open my collection of, they're not just all funny headlines. So the first one we're starting with was part of a news article, it looks like, in the Daily Eastern News. And I just thought it was kind of funny. And then, so then I've got some headlines, some funny headlines, newspaper headlines. And then I have some funny, like classified ads. So we'll do that first, and then we'll talk about pet peeves. Hey, Nora, how are you? Thanks for being here today. So be thinking of what your top pet peeves are. Again, we want to get it out. We want to purge it, get rid of it, so that we can focus on the holiday and the happy parts of this time of year, and just be reminded that at least we don't have to deal with whatever that pet peeve is all the time. I hope you don't have to deal with it all the time. But let me share my screen again, and we'll look at these. We will look at these. What do I look at? A window. I guess that's what I need to share. Okay. So this obviously was from an article about surviving a tornado, and I get the impression it has to do, something I thought I read made me think it's at a campus, or it has to do with, I don't know. As I read it, maybe I'll remember why I thought it had to do with a school or a campus. So if a tornado touches down while you're walking to class, oh, that's why, and you're far from shelter, lie face down in a ditch. Besides protecting yourself from flying debris, this is also a good way to convince the tornado that you're already dead and not worth chasing. There are many benefits to surviving a tornado, including having a wicked story to tell and not dying. I guess you can't argue with that, right? All right. And then here is the first of our, hey, Pete, how are you? Thanks for being here today. Here's the first of our funny headlines. Utah Poison Control Center reminds everyone not to take poison. I won't read the articles themselves, and as you can see, they're not particularly clear. If you want to go back and watch the stream and pause it so you can read the story, there may be a couple that I'll read if I can remember that there was something funny in the story. But wow, is that a no-brainer? One of my pet peeves is people that don't use common sense. I'll tell you that now. I don't know if that's on the list or not. Next one, meet the deflator from the New York Post. This is the guy who handled Tom's balls. I'm going to trust that you guys know what this is referencing, the deflated ball footballs, that whole debacle in the NFL. But just an interesting way to word that, huh? Okay, here's an interesting classified ad. How do I make it bigger? Looking for someone to do yard work. Must have hula hoop. Okay. Whatever floats your boat, right? Honda Civic, 96, AM, FM, CD, low miles, good condition, speaks Spanish for $3,500. Wow. I mean, they got cars that can park themselves now, so maybe that makes sense that we've got cars now that speak Spanish. Let's see. This one, hopefully you guys will catch this. School is more than reading, writing, and arithmetic. It should also be about spelling. That's not how you spell arithmetic. Akashi Chris, how are you? Thanks for being here, honey. I just invited everyone to be at your live stream tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So hopefully you'll see some of these people there to come and share with you. I will be there. Or not tomorrow, Sunday. Sunday at 11 o'clock. Okay, here's an ad for McDonald's that's hiring. Management positions available. Contact Tony. Vacation, uniforms, meals, and possible salary. Don't pass that up, right? Especially this time of year. Everybody can use a little extra. Hey, Grow Big TV. Thanks for being here today. Okay, this is just an unfortunate oversight. The Super Bowl party. I don't know if you guys do parties when it's football playoff or Super Bowl time, but this one has a little extra for you. Super Bowl party. Ritz, oh my goodness, yes, I've got to put your message up on the screen. What a treat to see you. I am thrilled to see you. How are you? I hope you're good. This is wow. You guys are making my day. Let me take that banner off. I know you don't want to see me. I want you to see what's on the screen, but I still get distracted if I see myself covered up. Oh yeah, the Super Bowl. Who's playing in the Super Bowl this year? I don't keep up with football. I like baseball, and I did sort of keep up with baseball this year just because the Rangers did well enough to make it into the World Series when they got that wild card spot. But before then, I wasn't even keeping up with it. So Super Bowl, I have no idea what's happening with football. Super Bowl. Okay. And we all know times are hard, right? Again, it's hard for everyone. And this time of year, there's a lot of pressure. So this person for sale, D-O, grammar. That's another thing on my list. Due to the down economy, I'm forced to sell my collection of Star Trek portraits in order to continue paying for my World of Warcraft subscription. Priorities, people, right? You gotta sacrifice and prioritize to get what you need. Hello, Tiffany at Canadian Family Life. Thanks for being here today. Each one is hand painted by myself. Please call this number. If my mom picks up, ask for Warlock. Don't mess that part up. Here's your chance, you Trekkies out there. Next up, Florida man claims he only drank at stoplights and not while driving. So no kidding, I think I have seen when I've watched all these police chase and traffic stop videos that I enjoy. There are people that really do that. That really will say, I wasn't drinking and driving. because they were just drinking, while they were stopped or while they were in the drive-through. Or so nice try, but no cigar, right? Close, but no cigar. All right. Zombie-eyed woman dressed as pig in swimsuit busted for DUI. I don't think we would even need to read that article, right? Hello, distracted me imagery. Thank you for being here today. Don't even need to read that. That headline says it all right there. Oh, did I skip one? Nope. Okay. Woman missing since she got lost. I will read part of this. Police are looking for a 25-year-old Rogers Park woman last heard from after getting lost last week while heading to a near West Side nightclub. Missing since she got lost. Does it go the other way around sometimes, you think? All right. Free to good home. There are some funny little animal ones in here. Beautiful 6-month-old male kitten, orange and caramel, tabby, playful, friendly, very affectionate, ideal for a family with kids. Or husband, 32-year-old husband, personable, funny, good job, but doesn't like cats. Say he goes or cat goes. I'll put, raise your hands. Which one of you thinks I would pick the cat? I sure don't need another husband. Yeah, that cat is mine. All right, here's another animal. Free to good home. 3/4. Oh, 3/4 Rottweiler, 1/4 Shepherd, 3 years old, female spayed, very intelligent, loves to eat live rabbits and kittens, loves to play ball with kids. Call after 5 p.m. So I'm not sure about this one. As much as I love dogs, I don't know about this one. We don't have kittens here. We got cats, but it's like a prerequisite that any dog who joins our family must get along with the cats. I mean, they're family too. And we do have rabbits on the property, so we see rabbits frequently enough that just would not be a good match for us. But loves to eat live rabbits and kittens, loves to play ball with the kids. All right. Soccer ball, signed by either Pele, the former Brazilian soccer player, widely renowned by most experts and fans to be the finest player that has ever existed, or by some guy named Peter. $75. Hey, you don't want to miss out, right? FOMO? That's a steal, right? Surgeon wanted for a new health clinic opening in the area. No experience needed. Must have own tools. I kind of wish the name of the clinic was there, right? Doesn't it make you wonder now how some of these healthcare professionals get their jobs? And if you've ever been to an office where it was obvious at some point that the person wasn't really suited for the work, maybe this is why. Maybe they just happened to answer the right ad at the right time, or the wrong ad at the right time, or whatever combination of those things are. No experience needed. I did want to be a surgeon for a while. I wonder if they've crossed out the phone number. All right. China cabinet, buffet, hutch, solid pine, 6.5 feet tall by 4.5 feet wide. Lighted windows. Few cat scratches, but cat has been killed. $700. Wow. I mean, it's good to be honest, right? I think right away I would read this kind of a thing and think this person is a very forthright, open, honest person. So if they would be this transparent in an ad to sell a china cabinet, I could probably trust other stuff they say, right? All right. Congratulations, George Brownridge, for pleasing 15 women for an entire day. We were all exhausted and very satisfied, and we look forward to next year. We all thank you. Now, there is a follow-up to this one, so I'm going to try and find the follow-up, because I don't know that it'll come up in I didn't find the follow-up until after I found that one. So I'm going to open this one and share this one with you, and then we'll go on to the other. So let me stop sharing that one, and I'll share the follow-up to that one. Here's the follow-up. So here's the one we just looked at. Old George. Yeah, I don't know that there's a phone number here either. So here's the response to obviously some questions that may have come up about this particular ad. Our sincere apology to George Brownridge and staff. Our intentions were to thank him for a generous holiday shopping trip which he arranged. This annual tradition is much appreciated. Any inappropriate innuendos were unintentional, and we take full responsibility for the ad that appeared in yesterday's papers. But George, raise your hand if you think that this did a lot for George's reputation and business opportunities. Whatever it is he does, I would think that would be a win-win for him. All right, let's go back to the other thing, which I got to open up again. Oh, I got to open it here first. And let's see, where did we leave off? We left off with George. Okay, so here's, turn that off. Open this one. Share that one. City unsure why the sewer smells. I know there's a possibility that some of these ads are fake. You know, that these are, somebody was just trying to have a good time and they created these little fake article headline looking things. But given the fact that there really, again, is not a lot of common sense, or if there is, it's not being used commonly. This one seems really legit to me. This is South Haven. I don't know where isn't there a South Haven, Connecticut, or where are there a South Haven places? And again, I can't really read it. The tests have been inconclusive in trying to locate the source of a mysterious odor that has been detected in several downtown South Haven businesses. Talk about sheltered lives. Threat disrupts plans to meet about threats. Irony of ironies. Volunteers search for old Civil War planes. Please, someone tell me you understand what's wrong with that headline. Because unless I really am not remembering my history right, there were no planes used in the Civil War. Mindfork. So Akashi is very much a history buff. She knows a lot about a lot. The Bud Files, very, 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 very good at history related things. So I'll admit it if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking there were no planes used in the Civil War. So those people may still be searching even now. I don't know what the date is on that. Troopers. Man mixing LSD and cough syrup saves dog from imaginary fire. This one wins for me so far. Yeah, Akashi, I'm wondering too. I don't know if there's a follow-up on that Civil War planes article or not, but I kind of think maybe they're still looking. Man mixing LSD and cough syrup saves dog from imaginary fire. Don't do drugs, people. But bless him, right? Bless his heart. Gucci, seriously? Oh my gosh, y'all. She's climbing on the desk. Gucci's here. Cool it. All right, let's see what we got next. Teen burglar kills goldfish because he didn't want to leave any witnesses, cops say. Talk about being thorough. Yeah, that man needs a medal. All dogs deserve to be saved. Don't leave any witnesses. No cough syrup or LSD required for that one. Okay, this one is just, again, a very unfortunate wording for describing, obviously, some things that happened during the game. You get a twofer on this one because the image I found came with two. A-Rod goes deep. Wang hurt. I won't expound on that. We'll just let you guys take it wherever you want to take it. And then for the other one, man arrested after cops spot suspiciously small package in his undies. That's just cruel, right? That's just cruel. I don't know if you can make out the picture there. The guy with his hands in front of his package. But A-Rod and Wang. Oh, the deflator. Murderer says detective ruined his reputation. The nerve. A convicted murderer has sued the detective who arrested him, saying the investigator ruined his good name in comments published in the Times News. Again, priorities, people. Nothing is more important than your reputation. Oh, this is profound. This is profound, right? Homicide victims rarely talk to police. Am I missing something? Or is that just really as profound as it seems? I wonder why that is. I wonder what we can do to take care of that. A nuclear explosion would be a disaster. I wonder what they're basing that on. I mean, that seems like a pretty strong statement, right? In case you didn't know, man found dead in graveyard. You don't say. China may be using sea to hide its submarines. Is that clever or is that clever? I'm telling you, China, they're just ahead of the game on every front, aren't they? Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? Big rig carrying fruit crashes on 210 freeway, creates jam. I wonder if as they were typing that out, because traffic jam, obviously that's a very common way to describe backups on the roadways, traffic jam. But I wonder if that was as deliberate as it seems like it should have been, or if that's just how they wrote it and then they realized that it actually made it funnier. Probably the world's worst way to die. Look at this. Man killed to death. That's horrible. I would not wish that on anyone. Killed to death. Okay, here's an ad. Shamed by you English? You can speak soon and write like a graduate college if me let you help for a day of 15 minutes. Let me try that again. Shamed by you English? You can speak soon and write like a graduate college if me let you help for a day of 15 minutes. I guess, is this his number? No, this is to advertise. So again, we're missing out because there's no phone number for us to call. Students cook and serve grandparents. Wow, that's a new twist on Grandparents' Day, huh? On Thursday, September 9th, Gorman School hosted the first annual Grandparents' Day. All grandparents were invited to a school-wide pancake breakfast. Upper grade students served as excellent chefs as well as taking responsibility for serving the food and the cleanup afterward, I'm guessing. But they cooked and served the grandparents. That's sweet. That's memory making right there. Fried or baked. Hey, kids today, they probably just popped them in the microwave, right? Here, okay, yeah. So Ritz is already, he's moving on to, he's segueing. He's helping us segue into our pet peeves. Oh, yes. I had wonderful English teachers, too, when they really did teach us how to use the English language. Okay, again, a very unfortunate choice in creating something that was supposed to be uh, artistic as well as descriptive. I get it. I can see it. I have enough of a, right side brain to understand what they were going for here, but so who proofreads this stuff? Grapefruit is good for every meal. Could they not have at least cut that slice of the fruit a little bit differently to help with the objective here? Oh, there was the one. I had to find it because it wasn't in order. Freshman Tally makes best of her two soggy holes. I will tell you this has to do with golf. I'll just tell you it has to do with golf. But I will tell you that as soon as I saw the headline, golf was not the first thing I thought about. But kudos to Freshman Tally. Soggy holes. Forecasters call for weather on Monday. And that's about as good as it gets. I've decided that being a meteorologist is the only job where you can get paid a good salary to be wrong most of the time. So this sort of covers it all. This is like, just covering all the bases, right? This can't possibly be wrong. There is no way for this prediction, this forecast, to be wrong. Nothing could be wrong about it. We're going to get weather, that's for sure. And that would be the only forecast I think I could trust. I know that if I start getting a headache, because sometimes I get a headache if it's going to rain, and the doctor told me once upon a time, because I'm sensitive to molds, and when it's going to rain and the humidity is high or it's been raining, that the mold count is higher, and that could explain why I so often get a headache just before it rains or while it's raining, because it's triggered my allergies, and then my allergies kind of trigger my sinuses, and then everything is inflamed and swollen and there's pressure and it hurts. So I could probably do a better job of forecasting the weather just using my headaches. Yes. So see, Akashi has got it figured out. There is a 100% chance of weather, and I am not wrong. She's not wrong. Federal agents raid gun shop, find weapons. I'm not even sure why this needed to be a headline. So I wonder the tax dollars that were spent to send these federal agents to this gun shop, I guess looking for weapons. I can't read enough of the story there because it's so distorted. But I wonder, so if they had raided a bakery, they would have found buns? I wonder what other kinds of things they find when they're raiding shops. Man eats underwear to beat breathalyzer. I wish I could read all of this, but it still takes me back to so many of these police videos that I watch and the absolutely unbelievable shenanigans that some people engage in to try to get out of tickets or going to jail or support their assertion that they weren't doing something that they've been accused of doing. But I haven't seen anyone on any of those videos do this yet. Lots of people pop mints in their mouth or chew gum. And I didn't, I didn't catch on right away. I saw a couple of videos where the person would start to put gum in their mouth, or they would ask if they could smoke a cigarette, and the police would tell them no. And then one video, a policeman said to them, no, you can't put anything in your mouth until we've done the breath test. I guess because it can skew the results or cover some things up. Yeah, Ritz, I've said before, when I watch some of those videos, I feel so good about myself. I feel like the most upstanding contributor to society that I could possibly be. And I feel totally normal and mentally healthy because I don't even know that it would ever enter my mind to do some of what I see being done in some of these videos. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, this is a great one. You guys should write this down. You should probably write it down, like put it in a thing in your wallet, maybe even create a contact in your contacts list for your phone. Breathing oxygen linked to staying alive. This is almost as profound as whatever that other one was I said that was really profound. Oh, about the dead people not speaking, or homicide victims not talking to police. This is on an equal level to that one, I think. Just my opinion. Breathing oxygen linked to staying alive. Now, this doesn't say they're talking about on Earth. I'm assuming, maybe that's bad of me, I'm assuming they're talking about as it pertains to being on Earth, because I don't know that this headline would make sense on Venus or someplace where there's not a lot of oxygen, and that's not what a creature would be inhaling if they were breathing there. The more you know. Army vehicle disappears. An Australian Army vehicle worth $74,000 has gone missing after being painted with camouflage. Okay, that's an award waiting to be bestowed upon someone right there. That's beyond camouflage. If a $74,000 Army vehicle cannot be found now because it's camouflaged, right? Okay, this one hurts. This one hurts my teeth. Mississippi's literacy program shows improvement. I'm going to trust that you guys understand what's wrong with that. Mississippi. And that probably is improvement. That headline right there, sorry about Mississippi. I did live in Mississippi for a little while. I lived 4 years in Gulfport, Mississippi. I was starving to get back to Texas the whole time. Mississippi. So this may be indicative of improvement right here. It may have only had, one S before. Let's see. Safety meeting ends in accident. This is kind of up there with the threats meeting that was postponed because of a threat or canceled because of a threat. Safety meeting ends in accident. I don't know how much of this I can read. After a safety meeting concluded at the Kermit Community Center recently, officers and an EMT's possessive S there were called to the scene of an accident which involved two men from the safety meeting. Investigating officer Lieutenant Richard Abalos reported that when the safety meeting ended at about 11 a.m., the men went to their vehicles. One man, Richard Holcomb, 23 of Mineola, this is in Texas, was driving a 2013 Chevrolet 2500 pickup and hit a pedestrian, 52-year-old Esteban Juarez Jr. of Hobbs, New Mexico. It was reported that Juarez was jaywalking across the street. Do you jaywalk across anything but a street? When he was struck by the pickup, which was pulling out onto San Antonio and was on the wrong side of the street. Which was pulling up on San Antonio. So the truck is on the wrong side of the street. The guy is jaywalking on the street. Juarez was taken to Memorial Hospital where he was treated for minor injuries. No charges have been made at this time. I wonder what kind of safety they covered in that meeting. Yeah, where was their evacuation team? Beautifully worded, huh? One-armed man applauds the kindness of strangers. So somebody relied a little too heavily on their thesaurus. I can't even say it. Someone obviously wanted to not just be humdrum every day generic language, right? So they pull out the thesaurus to find a word to use in this headline without thinking about how it's juxtaposed here. One armed man applauds the kindness of strangers. You get the gist, but it is funny. Oh, I think that's the last of that then. So that's the last of the funny headlines I had to share with you guys. Let me make sure I haven't missed anyone coming in. Hello to anyone that may have come in that I missed. We're going to move on to talking about some pet peeves. So again, so part of my goal here is to help you purge your annoyance so that you don't carry it through the holidays and let it distract you from all the good and the wonderful things that are happening. This should be happening all year, but we do kind of tend to focus more on, love and sharing and family and fellowship this time of year. So let me first, my list is not from womansday.com, but I thought I would just kind of start this process by reading something I found at womansday.com. The question was, do all people have the same pet peeves? While not everyone has the same pet peeves, there are plenty of common pet peeves shared by tons of people. One of the best things to help you with your pet peeves is just knowing that you're not alone. So how should you deal with your pet peeves and practice self-care in the face of them? And now we will move on to 75 of the biggest pet peeves. This is a list of 75 biggest pet peeves from parade.com. And I'll read them all. As I come to the ones that are near the top of my list, I'll let you know. As I read them, you can comment in the chat and let me know, or let all of us know. Oh, yes, that's one of yours as well. Some of them, they're not big deals to me. I don't think any of them were like a new thing to me. But again, some of them, they're not big deals to me. And I wonder, for the people that have these as their pet peeves, the ones that aren't big deals to me, I wonder what it is about it that makes them a big deal to them. So number one on the list of 75 is gum chewing, like the zealous kind. Relax. Stop popping your gum like you're that neighborhood kid in The Incredibles. We could all benefit from virtually noiseless gum chewing. Number two is slurping loudly. I don't know that really bothers me, but I don't know that I'm around loud slurping very much. So Ritz is saying, yes, and I'm guessing you are talking, I missed it when you put that up because I had that article in front of me. I'm going to move it back over here. Oops. I'll put it back over here so I don't block my chat. Are you talking about the gum chewing or the slurping loudly, Ritz? And while Ritz is for the gum smacking, okay. I just guess I'm not around gum smacking a lot. Now, I can tell you that I've interviewed people for jobs before when I was a hiring manager, and it's at the top of the list of pet peeves in that regard when we would have people come in chewing gum during an interview. That never sat well with me. But I can't think of times when I've just been out somewhere or around a group of people and somebody was chewing their gum and smacking their gum to the point that it bothered me. Oh, all over in public transportation in Chicago. Yeah, maybe I don't get out much. Maybe that's what it means. All right, number 3, people who hog the sidewalk. If you're going to walk so slowly, then you need to move all the way to the right. The left is a passing lane. Am I right? So that's not something I've encountered. I'm sure it's a problem for people that, do a lot of sidewalk walking. Spitting. This is number 4, spitting. Spitting on the sidewalk, on the ground, or out the car window to be cool. It's just never cute. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not going to call it a pet peeve. Again, I don't see it enough. Maybe my top pet peeves are because they're the ones that I see most often and I wish I didn't. Number 5, people who cut you in line. I don't know the last time I was someplace where someone cut me in line. I'm sure it would bug me. Number 6, other miscellaneous chewing noises. Granted, this one can't always be helped, but still. Also, while we're at it, don't talk with your mouth full. I'm feeling really fortunate now that a lot of these I'm just not around enough to have a peeve about it. Number 7, tapping. The sound of tapping fingers or a tapping pen can be so distracting, especially in a classroom or at work. I haven't had to deal with that really either. Number 8, pen clicking. I don't know if I have a clickable pen. I don't know if I even have a clickable pen to click for you. Again, in the right circumstances or the wrong circumstances, I know those things would be very annoying, but I don't have to deal with them much, so they're not on my list. Number 9, being on the phone in public. Checking out at a store, walking through a public place. No one wants to hear your entire phone conversation. Also, no one wants to be ignored while you send a text either. So I can tell you, again, this has to do with both my healthcare career and retail career, to have people come up, let's say they're checking out or they're checking in. Now, 99 times out of 100, I'll tell you now that the people in the healthcare setting that were on the phone at the front desk were also late for their appointments. So they come in late, they're on the phone. You know, I might need them to sign consent forms or give them their prescriptions or something that they're going to need, you know, related to the appointment. And they're busy talking on the phone and they're already late for the appointment. And then in retail, you know, you got a line of people check out. It's holiday time. Someone comes up, puts their stuff on the counter that they want to buy. They're on their phone. You're getting it rung up. You know, it's already annoying enough that they don't acknowledge you. And you say, hello, how are you today? Thanks for coming in, or whatever you say. And they're too busy talking on their phone. And then you finish ringing everything up. You tell them what the total is. It's on their little screen, but they're busy talking on their phone. You got it. Did I say I have a line of people? So maybe this one bothers me. It's just not something I deal with anymore now because I'm out of the work world. I get to be home with the dogs. The dogs don't talk on the phone. Number 10, the scrape of silverware. I don't think it bothers me. Number 11, nails on a chalkboard. This thing says the sound of nails on a chalkboard is more than a pet peeve. Really, it should be an actual crime. I mean, I don't like that sound, but I wouldn't call it a pet peeve. Number 12, leaving the lights on. Okay, this one we're getting into for sure top 10 territory for me. Now, I have a lot of lights on right now when I do my live streams, and I feel like maybe today I finally kind of have enough light on me. But part of that is that when I'm wearing my glasses, I can't have all these lights on me. Then I have so much glare on my glasses that, you know, I don't like that. That's a pet peeve, to have the glare off my glasses. So I've got a lot of lights on, but when I finish the stream, I'll turn the lights off. I don't know why I'm looking down here. When I finish the stream, I'll turn the lights off. Not everyone does that here. So yeah, we're in top 10 territory right there. And I can't even tell you, there are days when multiple times a day, I will look around and say, every light in the house is on. And that's with the windows open and the sun coming in. Number 13, leaving cabinet doors open. Not something that happens here. I think it would bug me. It would mostly bug me because I wouldn't want dogs and cats getting into cabinets. I mean, not just for like dangerous things. We have baby locks and things on the dangerous, like under the kitchen sink and under the bathroom sink. But I don't want the dogs in, you know, chewing on my Tupperware or licking on my thermal glasses, or thermal. Is that what it's called? Thermal glasses. Number 14, not replacing the toilet paper. So that would be a pet peeve if it happened here, but that's not an issue. When it's happened someplace else, like at work, then yeah, that's a pet peeve, but it's still not top 10 territory right now. So the only thing I have on that's in the top 10 territory is leaving the lights on. Number 15, sharing a car and leaving the gas on empty. Yes, that's on my top 10 list. Why am I looking here? I feel like when I wear my glasses, I am at least a little more inclined to remember that you guys are up here. So, yes, sharing a car and leaving the gas on empty, a regular occurrence. It is a pet peeve of mine. Pet hair, number 16, pet hair all over clothes, floor, or furniture. You know that is not a pet peeve of mine. That is life. If it's someone else's pet peeve, I'll apologize. But I think at this point, most people know if they come to my home, they're going to find pet hair. Number 17, throat clearing. I mean, it's a pet peeve of mine when I have to clear my throat a lot. Again, that whole allergies thing I have, that can sometimes mean a lot of throat clearing. And as a singer, that is so annoying. I don't know if that's a pet peeve because I'm the one that does it, but it's very frustrating and stressful and annoying for me. So I can only imagine that if I was out someplace having to do it so much and other people had to hear it, that it could be a pet peeve. Number 18, frequent coughing. I guess this goes with the throat clearing. Not necessarily something somebody could fix, but I know that if I'm out and I hear somebody like coughing a lot, I'm wondering, why are they out? Number 19, phone alarms going off at work. Not an issue for me. Hasn't been an issue for me. Number 20, rushing to the front of the plane as it lands. People do that? Like, they don't even tell you can take your seatbelts off until the plane stops. So I wonder at what point this really means what it sounds like it means. And it says here, okay, giving the benefit of the doubt, you might have a connecting flight, but promise you're not the only one. Wait your turn like everyone else, and we'll all get off the plane eventually. So, I mean, I know I can think of times when we've landed and I wait until the seatbelt light is off before I take my seatbelt off, and there's already a whole plane full of people in line, and I end up being among the last to get off the plane. But I don't fly often enough for that to be a pet peeve. Number 21, not pausing the TV when talking. Okay, let me think about what that means. Not pausing the TV when talking. So I'm guessing you're watching a show with someone and they start talking, but they don't pause the TV. I would probably be more annoyed about them pausing the TV. If I'm watching the show, I don't necessarily want to have to stop watching my show to listen to what they're saying. So I don't know for sure what that one means. Number 22, people who text in the movie theater. This is on my top 10 list. I don't go to the movies very much anymore. But I have been to the movies at least a couple of times in the last 5 years, and someone had their phone, like the person sitting right in front of me, had their phone on, doing whatever they're doing on the phone the whole time. So there's light that comes out of the phone when you're using it. And the whole purpose of a movie theater is for you to immerse yourself in what's happening on screen because it's dark all around you, so you don't have to be aware of whatever else is happening around you, and you can focus on the screen. Not when there's someone's phone light in your face because they're sitting right in front of you playing on their phone. So I will say I've been glad that the ushers in both of those situations did come. They can see it too, did come and tell the people, you can't have your phone on when you're watching the movie. And the people did cooperate and turn off their phone. But while I was waiting for the usher to come and deal with it, it was very frustrating. So it is in the top 10 territory. Number 23, crowding the boarding gate. Hasn't been an issue for me. Maybe I don't fly enough for some of these to be big deals. Number 24, the person who can't stop going to the bathroom on a plane. That's a deal? I haven't had that happen to me. I don't know why would that bother me unless I need to use the bathroom and they're just in there all the time. Number 25, lack of an Oxford comma. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to see what an Oxford comma is. Oxford comma examples. The Oxford comma, also known as the serial comma or Harvard comma, is the use of a comma before the conjunction in a list of 3 or more items. For example, the comma before and in the phrase paints, comma, brushes, comma, and canvas. The name comes from the fact that it's recommended by Oxford University Press. So that last comma is optional. I know that, but I guess that last comma is called an Oxford comma. Huh. Who knew? Not a pet peeve. There's other things happening in the world. I don't have time to worry about commas. Hello, Erica Olson. How are you? So here's her. Herds of people in the grocery store stopping and clogging up the aisles, especially when they act like you're imposing upon them to let you pass. Yes, that is very annoying and frustrating. So yeah, that's kind of like the clogging up at the boarding gate. Number 26, people who are one-uppers. You know the type. One-uppers are the people who always have a story that takes the last thing said to another level. They can always one-up you no matter the category. That is bothersome. I wouldn't say it's a pet peeve because I don't have to deal with it. I'm sure it's happened a time or two in my life, but I think some of these again would have to be often enough to stress me out for it to be a pet peeve. I'm having iced tea today. No sugar in my iced tea. Number 27, knuckle cracking. Not a pet peeve. Number 28, saying KK in real life. It says life is not a text message. KK. I don't know anyone that does that. Even in text messages, I don't know anyone that does that. Number 29, bad grammar. This is in the top 3 for me. I don't know what happened or at what point it happened that students stopped learning some of what I learned as a student. And I'm talking a student like 3rd grade student, okay? I'm not talking about you have an English degree or a writing degree and I understand spoken communication and written communication are 2 different things, but at least when someone's speaking, I don't have to know how they're spelling the word they're using. With the rise of social media, it's just become very, very clear that people didn't learn the same things I learned growing up about using English, about writing English. And I just am the kind, I'll just be right up front with you. If a person cannot even manage proper usage of their native tongue, how could I really trust them to handle anything bigger than that? Like, I won't vote for someone for public office if they have bad grammar. I just can't. To me, it's a simple, it should be common sense. It should be natural. If you are a native English speaker, I know some other countries where they speak English, maybe it's different. I'm talking about United States, American English. If you can't handle that properly, if you can't respect that enough to use the right words, I'm not talking about typos and misspellings, okay? Let me just be clear about that. I do that sometimes too, and I have the dictation thing on my phone that I often use. especially if I'm in the car or, for whatever reason, I use that dictation thing and it doesn't get it right sometimes. We all know that auto text thing. There's another whole episode I could do for you guys, some funny autocorrect things. So I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about honest mistakes. I'm talking about people that literally do not have any grasp of how to properly use certain words. There's a list of 10 or 15 words that it hurts me. It hurts me to see them typed and used the way they're used. It hurts me. Like, it hurts me thinking about it right now. And I'll do my list. I'll give you my list of some of those when we get through all of these pet peeves. But again, we're in top 3 territory for sure, because I haven't seen the whole list yet to know if my memory's going to be triggered on something that's even bigger than that. But yes. Oh, yes. So I can see now I have a lot of kindred spirits here in the chat. I love you guys even more. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh my goodness. You are singing my song. Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from. I feel like people... Oops. I skipped this one. Oh my goodness. Yes. You guys you're preaching to the choir here. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes. Okay, you guys, you already know then where I'm going with this. Those are some of the words on my list of 10 or 15 words. And a part of me feels bad for some of those people because I know they don't even know. They don't even know it's wrong. So I don't know what else it could be except that is not being taught anymore. And they know the word. They know the word they want to use, but they don't realize there are different words that sound the same. They're spelled differently and they mean different things. They know the word they mean, they know what it sounds like, and they know how they think it's supposed to be used. And I just think it's just got to be they're not it's not being taught anymore. That is so wrong. That is so wrong. But we have the what's that new math thing called now that somebody dreamed up 15 20 years ago? Like, you're not supposed to carry the 1 anymore. You do these ridiculously big long, 5 times 10 is, you can't just know it. You can't just know it. You got to do these gymnastics on the paper. What is that called? Yeah, bad education. Common Core. Oh my goodness. I wonder if that's on the list. There's a pet peeve of mine. Common Core. Oh my goodness. And yet with Common Core, we see more and more and more and more now of people. And it's not just young people. I can't say this is, 30 years and younger. There are people 50 years old, 55 years old. So close enough to my age that I don't understand how they didn't learn. They didn't get the same lessons that I got. I feel like my French grammar is probably better than 85% of Americans' English grammar. And that's with me knowing that I probably couldn't conjugate a French verb now to save my life, because I use it or lose it. What the hell? Oh my goodness. So we'll come back to bad grammar and I'll give you like my top, my top words that, because there's one that is it's at the top of the list. Beyond it just by leaps and bounds it overtakes the other ones on my list. So number 29 was bad grammar. Number 30, and again, remember, so we're going to do this. We're going to get these pet peeves out so that we can let them go, release them into the netherworld, and they can go live someplace else so we can just focus on the holidays. I do need to send Richard a text so that he can let the dogs out, because I don't think he did that yet. He's home. But now they haven't been let out since before the show started. And the little bit here, little Keela, just came over licking my elbow, and I think she's telling me she needs to go out. All right, number 30. The person who always relays it back to themselves. So this is kind of like a one-upper. Potentially even worse than the one-upper is the person who always has a way of relating the conversation back to themselves. Different from one-upping, it's indicative of the person not listening and rather just waiting for their turn to talk. Again, not a pet peeve of mine, but in my experience, what I'm interpreting this to mean is, let's say you share a story about a tragedy or an illness or injury, and then the person has to tell you about, oh well, when this happened to me. And I'm sure there are situations where that would be fine and that would make sense and that would be appropriate, but there are people that it's more of a deliberate attempt to get attention, or I don't know it. Again, in my experience, that's how I'm interpreting that one. Number 31, picking of the nose. I might have seen someone pick his or her nose in public a time or two in my life, but that's not something I see very often. Hey, Connie, thanks for being here today. So it's not a pet peeve of mine. I guess if I saw it all the time. Number 32, use of the word moist. Now, I've heard this before. I don't know, why is that a pet peeve? Oh, is that a pet peeve for you, Ritz? Boone must hear a motorcycle, y'all. He carries on every time. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So again, back Erica's comment. There are times when that's appropriate, and if you're sharing stories, or maybe you want to help someone understand that you've been through something and you're on the other side, and it does get better. But I can't think of times when it was just someone, they just wanted the attention, and that's again, that's troublesome. Oh, okay. Ritz is just having a good time. Okay. All right. Use of the word moist. I don't know why that's a pet peeve. I wonder why. If you have a pet peeve about people using the word moist, yes, that's the difference right there. That's what determines if it's a problem or not. Absolutely. If you have a problem with the word moist, tell me, share with me. Let me know why that's a problem. Number 33, talking about diet culture. I don't even know that I know what diet culture is, but under the little description is, what is this? The early 2000s? Diet culture is canceled. Stop perpetuating it with harmful fodder. Maybe it just means like people going on diets. I don't know. Number 34, loud computer clackers. We all got to type, but some of us do it louder than others. Number 35, the person on public transport who just lets the music play. Have you ever heard of headphones? Huh. I don't know. So many of these I just don't have a point of reference because they're not something I've had to deal with. Number 36, buyers who are rude to personnel. Okay, not on my top 10 pet peeves list, because fortunately it's not something that's happened a lot, but just like that being on the phone thing, it's very annoying. I mean, I just don't like rudeness, period. But I don't know about it being a pet peeve. I don't know that should be considered a pet peeve. People shouldn't be rude. Let's see. Here's Ritz's comment. Had a coworker whose office was near me. She would call me with her door open, type loudly, and yell into the speakerphone. Talk about lack of awareness. But did she have good grammar? Please tell me she at least had good grammar, used good grammar. Number 37, not tipping 20%. So underneath it says, listen, unless your service is truly awful, then be a good tipper. It's the right thing to do. And I do agree. I do agree that you should be a good tipper. But I don't think it should be expected. There still should be give me good service, give me quality service, and I will reward you for that. I will tip you for that. Not just you showed up for work today, so I'm going to give you beyond what I'm paying for the item or meal or whatever that I'm purchasing. Right? I hope that's not rude. Let's see. Travel one don't apply here. I can't afford to get out of my own way, let alone go anywhere. Right? Yeah, again, some of these don't happen to me because I don't go anywhere. Number 38, the coworker who's always asking others to cover. Not a pet peeve. It is a problem. Haven't had it happen too often. But again, when I've been, the positions I've had have been more like management or supervisory positions. So people wouldn't be asking me necessarily to cover for them. I know it makes me curious when I am aware of. Yeah, I got the gist of it, Erica. I knew that's what you meant. I don't count off for typos. I don't count off for typos and honest misspellings. I'm good at that. I'm horrified when I do it, and then after the fact, I realize, oh my gosh, I can't believe I misspelled that. Or all right. So number 39, clapping when a plane lands. So let me tell you, I think that can be totally appropriate. I was on my way to, where was I going? Huntsville, Alabama. I think I was on my way to Huntsville, Alabama from DFW one year to see a friend of mine. And I noticed it should have been a, relatively short flight. It's not that far from here to there. But I start noticing we're circling the airport, right? So first I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. Maybe there's a problem. There's something happened on the runway. They got to get something cleaned up or whatever. There's a delay that we just can't land yet. Then the pilot comes on after like 45 minutes of this circling the airport. And the pilot comes on and said, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to, let you know we're having a problem with the flaps, something that helps the plane stop. And we're just in a circling pattern to burn off some fuel. Okay, so I can put two and two together, and I know that means that without the flaps, there's obviously a greater risk for something unfortunate to happen when we land. And we need to not have as much fuel. We need to have as little fuel on the plane as possible so that it won't contribute to the something happening that would result in something like a fire or an explosion. Okay, I can figure that out. But, I know these guys trained for that thing. They knew, so they know to do that. The lady sitting next to me became terrified. She started crying. And I told her, it's okay. It's going to be okay. These guys trained for this. This is something specifically that they trained for. They know just what to do, and they're going to keep us safe. And she asked me if she could hold my hand, though. So I held her hand. We landed safely. No big deal. And I think we clapped. It's happened one other time that I've been on a flight. Oh, hang on. Hey, Black Guns and Gardens. Thanks for being here today. Good to see you. One other time. So I had gone out to San Diego, I think when I went out for Gerald's graduation from boot camp, Marine Corps boot camp. And then on my way home, I was flying from San Diego. I was flying non-rev. So you got to take whatever you can get. So I was flying from San Diego to like Sacramento or something, then to catch a nonstop flight back to DFW. And it was just a little prop plane. I think I'm remembering this right. I think it was the trip home. I don't think it was the trip to San Diego. And I think I've got the cities right. I know I was going to San Diego. So short distance. So we're in just one of the little the little prop planes, right? And we're flying right along the coast of California. So there's the ocean right beneath us. And I notice about 10 minutes into the flight, I don't know if this was happening from the beginning of the flight or not, but pretty early into the flight, I noticed the propeller on my side of the plane is not propelling. It's not turning. But I could see out the window on the other side, the other one was propelling. And then I'm thinking, okay, so if this plane crashes, there's water beneath us. We weren't very high up, again, because it was a short flight. And I'm just already thinking, okay, so what happens? We're over the water. Is that good? Is that bad? I've seen enough like air crash. I like that Mayday Air Disaster YouTube channel too. So I've seen enough of those crashes. It doesn't help you. Y'all, water, when you're flying, hundreds of miles an hour and you're more than 15 feet off the ground, it doesn't matter what you land on. It's going to hurt you and it's going to cause problems as if you flew into a concrete wall. So that propeller stops turning. And then the pilot comes on and said, ladies and gentlemen, we are having a problem with one of the propellers, and we have been advised to return to whichever airport we left from. I don't like to end sentences with prepositions, but for the purposes of storytelling, don't take any points off. I don't remember if that's exactly how he said it. So we turned back around and went back to whatever the originating airport, and we just waited for another plane. But when we turned around then and landed back at that other airport, everybody clapped. I mean, there were like 15 people on this plane. It was just a little bitty plane. So I can see that could be appropriate at times. I don't know why that should be a pet peeve for somebody unless, clapping hurts their ears or something. Let's see. Okay, hang on. Oh, I'm missing some comments here. Let's see. Erica is good at Taiwanese. And Ritz likes clapping, loves clapping upon landing. It's sometimes a cultural thing, but I know not for everyone. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Surviving a rough landing, clapping is allowed. Yes, again, those are the times that I've been the one clapping. And who knows? So maybe if I'm on a plane when other people have clapped, because it's happened and I didn't feel like I needed to clap, maybe those people had a dreadful day. Maybe they had delayed flights or canceled flights, or maybe they were in a situation like I was in, got to get rid of the fuel because your flaps aren't working or your propeller stops working. You wait for a new plane, and they've just had a harrowing day, and they finally then are getting where they're going. So who knows? You don't know what their story might be. Ritz, I think the clapping is excitement before a vacation or event, and sometimes relief for a safe landing. Oh, so it could have to do more with the context of, the flight, the reason for the flight itself. Let's see, except the pilots that were on their tablets and landed at the wrong airport. That's a thing? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a thing. Let's get more into this list. Number 40, checking your smartwatch during an in-person conversation. Why is that a pet peeve thing? Maybe it depends on who the people are. Again, if I'm interviewing someone for a job, I wouldn't necessarily want them paying attention to anything except me for the interview. So I think we're missing some details here. But if I'm just talking to one of y'all and you look at your smartwatch, I mean, it happens. Life is going on. Number 41, nail clipping in inappropriate places. Who does that? Like, inappropriate places, to me, that means you're like at a restaurant or in church, or people do that? That can't be a thing. Number 42, people who can't apologize. 2 words, dude. I'm sorry. Now you try. Okay, this is in top 10 territory for me. Okay? This is in top 10 territory for me. Number 43, reclining on an airplane. Unless you're in first class, please refrain. Otherwise, you set off an entire chain of events that cannot be stopped. I just haven't flown often enough or recently enough. I can sure see why that would be annoying. But again, I don't know another person's story. If they have had a horrible day or they're stressed out, maybe they're going to a funeral, maybe who knows? Maybe they need some rest. I don't know why that should be a pet peeve, because somebody wants to relax in the plane. So apologies. I'm sorry if that's a pet peeve for one of y'all. It's not a pet peeve for me. Number 44, lack of boundaries in general. Some of these, I just don't even know how these can fall into pet peeve territory. Happened a few years ago. I think you're talking about the reclining in your airplane seat. So some of these, I just don't see that these should be considered pet peeves, because that somehow, to me, minimizes the significance of how inappropriate the behavior is. To call it a pet peeve, to me, a pet peeve is just a quirky thing that it bugs you, it just not in and of itself, it may not be like a bad or wrong thing, but it bugs you. And there's all kinds of reasons why it might bug you. Okay. But lack of boundaries in general, how can that be a pet peeve? That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Everyone should be offended by that. Number 45, meetings that, well, could have been resolved over email. Number 46, drivers who don't use their turn signal. We're close to top 10 territory. I get more, it's more a pet peeve of mine for people to wait until the last second to get over because they need to exit or make a turn. Some of those people then who just stop right in their lane because they need to get to the other lane, and then all the people behind them just have to wait because they're waiting for somebody to let them in. They're waiting for an opening to move. Number 47, interrupting. Number 48, not pulling over for emergency services on the road. This is top 10 this is top 10 territory, y'all. And again, I'm going to go back to watching the police videos. I am dumbfounded at how often, as I'm watching these videos, people don't pull over. And it's obvious some of those people, they don't even know there is a policeman behind them with siren blaring and lights flashing. Or I'm thinking, if I'm on the highway and I see some car, driving twice my speed passing me, I'm probably going to be expecting that there will be a police car coming. Like, I don't know, maybe people just speed for the sake of speeding. But I'm talking about when I've seen cars passing me, at 100 plus miles an hour, when I'm on a 55 mile an hour roadway, I'm pretty much assuming they are running from something. They're running from somebody, so I better pay more attention, right? But these police videos where these police are chasing people, or they're just trying to pull someone over, their brake light is out, or whatever, and the people that need to be pulled over aren't even pulling over, much less the ones that the police cars are having to pass. So yeah, it's dangerous, it's rude, it's disrespectful. Let's see, Jerry says, I don't use mine if no one's around, but I missed what you don't use. Your turn signal. Yeah, again, context. That's not on my list of pet peeves. It could be dangerous, but a lot of times that's more dangerous for the person that's just not paying attention anyway, so they don't even notice that the guy in front of them is slowing down or putting on their brakes so that they are prepared for them to either stop or turn or whatever. Let's see. And then Rich says, people who continue blabbering during emergency evacuations while the fire personnel are making announcements, infuriating. Yes, it's correct. Yes, again, it's dangerous, it's disrespectful, and I don't know why people don't take things a little more seriously. Let's see. Number 49, bringing smelly meals to the office. I'm not going to say this is top 10, but when this has happened, I do find it pretty annoying. Yeah, pretty annoying. Number 50, slow drivers. Yeah, that one bugs me. I think, yeah, I'm saying it's safe to say that's in my top 10 category area as well. And I remember hearing once upon a time that it's just as dangerous to drive under the speed limit as it is to drive over the speed limit. Now, I'm not talking about you're the wide load vehicle, right? You're pulling that house behind you, and so you've got to be a little more careful. But usually those have placards or flags or something on them, so they're being a little more careful and they're driving a little more slowly. But I do find myself often enough when I'm behind someone that's driving significantly slower. Obviously, if somebody's within 5 miles of the speed limit, I don't know that you really notice it. But I do find myself at times behind someone who's driving slower than they should, saying aloud, but like to them, even though they can't hear me, the speed limit is 45 miles an hour here. So not 35, not 30. Sometimes it's the older people. I know I'm going to be that person one day. I'm getting close because I already sometimes feel like I'm going faster than I am. Hey, John at Pedrosa Travel. Thanks for being here today. Ooh, Erica's got, I got some other ones. Again, but I don't know that you can consider these pet peeves. These are just wrong. They're dangerous. They're bad. They're disrespectful to everyone else around. Honkers. Again, there's not a qualifier here. Relax. Aggressive honkers are the worst. It has its place. It's not a pet peeve for me. Number 52, men who consistently speak over women. What about women who consistently speak over men? I think people who speak over each other is probably not a good thing. I don't know that it has to do with the gender of either person involved. Number 53, coworkers who forget to turn their mic on during Zoom calls. Not anything I've had to deal with. If you've had to deal with that, I can see where it might be a pet peeve. Number 54, technical difficulties of any kind. Kind of pet peevish for me, not a top 10 thing. Number 55, that was 54. Number 55, obnoxiously loud yawning. How often does that happen? Let's see. Oh, wait. John says if technically within 10 miles of the speed limit, it's okay. And then Erica says, if hands-free, it isn't bad. But yeah, any distracted driving, shaving, applying makeup, turning to yell at kids. I've even seen people reading the paper while driving. Oh, I've seen people doing stuff in the car too again. But again, I don't know that I would call them pet peeves. It's just ridiculously dangerous and disrespectful behavior. Now, I've stopped my car before to get on to my kids. And then they know I really mean business. All right. Number 56, always being late. Number 57, not feeling welcome at a gathering. I'm so intrigued by some of these being included in a list of pet peeves. Number 58, constantly canceled plans. Yes, this is a pet peeve of mine. But it's more from, so again, I'm going to go to my healthcare background. People who habitually miss their appointments. Okay. So, and part of my job as a practice manager, as a leader in an office, was to make us as productive and profitable and cost effective as possible. So if I have a $10,000 surgery on the schedule and the person no-shows or cancels at the last minute, I don't have time, even though I often worked from a waiting list, people that would say, please, if you get anything before next month, call me. Okay, where's the time for that? If they don't show up, I don't have time to call people, and they don't have time to make arrangements then to come in on an earlier date. And then the people that you can look back at their appointment history and see, wow, they've missed, 6 out of 7 of the appointments they had on the book this year. That's bad. We have one of our sniff spot people, wonderful people, but they no-show 9 times out of 10. Now, I still get paid. So it's not about that I can't make money or somebody could have booked that spot. It's just that for us, for here, we've got Cabo and Delilah. So before anyone comes for a sniff spot, we're making sure all the poop is scooped out of the pasture, all the poop is scooped out of the barn and the paddock, because that's where their dogs are going to be playing. And then I put out dog treats for the dogs and fill a water bowl for the dogs. And I put out bottled water for the humans. I put a towel out in case their dogs get in the pond and swim and they want to dry them off. So there's just some prep work. It takes a while to prepare so that they can have a positive experience. So it's, pet peeve. I'm gonna include that in my top 10 territory list of pet peeves for people to constantly cancel plans. Let me get back to chat here. Uh, oh, I missed some stuff. Okay. Okay. John says Zoom meetings are annoying. I always feel like I'm in a seance. Anne, are you with us? And then Erica, oh, I have too, but not while driving. I don't know what that relates to. And then John, especially if you're a traveler like me, people always say, oh, can I come? And I say, sure. But then they almost always cancel at the last minute. Yeah. So stressful. Betrayal of trust is not just a pet peeve. It's one of the highest forms of disrespect. Absolutely. And there are many ways to betray someone's trust. It's not just about lying, but when you don't keep your word, when you don't follow through on commitments or agreements or, show up when you say you're going to show up, it's disrespectful. All right. Let's move on. Number 59, tailgating. Not the kind like where you're having a cookout in the parking lot at the sports arena. I don't have that happen to me too often. Number 60, lending someone something and they never return it. I don't know. I think if I lend something to someone, unless it's something, I mean, I can't think of anything I've ever let someone else use that it was going to be a problem if I didn't get it back or didn't get it back by a certain time. But then if they don't give it back and at some point I need it again, I just call them or, text them or whatever and say, hey, can I come by and pick up my whatever? I was going to read it again or I was going to use it again. And then it's not a problem. So I wonder, how much of that should fall on to the person that did the lending to be comfortable enough to say, hey, can you drop that off or can I come get it because I need it again? So I don't know that that's a pet peeve. Number 61, people who don't wash their hands after using the restroom. Yeah, this is probably in my top 10. Now, I think at some point, I got to figure out a way to do this. I want to have a little counter, but I would need to have it in a couple of different places. I think I mentioned this in a video recently. I lose track of how many times a day I wash my hands. So obviously I go to the bathroom and maybe TMI, the older I get, the more I go to the bathroom because I can't hold some things as long as I used to. I wash my hands after I use the bathroom, but I also have to handle, dogs and ducks and horses and mules and cats and sometimes the little things they leave behind and so I wash my hands a lot. And there are some mornings where, it might be 9:00 in the morning. And in my head, I'm thinking I've already washed my hands 45 times and I didn't get up till 7:30. So you not washing hands after using the bathroom. I just wonder. I wonder about that. So yeah, that's top 10 territory for me. Number 62, roommates who don't clean up. Haven't had that happen. Number 63, wanting to split the bill equally when it's not really equal. That would be a problem. And the example it gives here, did they order 4 mimosas and suggest splitting the bill equally? Yeah, not cool. So I don't know why that would ever be fair. Now I can think of times when I've been out like with families and in-laws and, extended family, and we all order, everybody shares appetizers, everybody shares desserts, whatever. And then it's suggested, hey, I'll split this with you. Okay, yeah, because everybody kind of did a little bit of everything. But no, it wouldn't be right if like one person was drinking like alcohol, or it was just obvious that another person spent more money. We got some hand washing things here. As a guy, it's disgusting. I see a lot of guys use the restroom and then not wash their hands. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're singing my song here. I've called kids out in public bathrooms for not washing. Yep. Oh, and I have done the same thing too. Being at the Mexican restaurant, a little kid comes in, I'm washing my hands, they come out of the bathroom and they start to go out the door and I say, oh, don't forget to wash your hands. They wash their hands. Let's see. John used to have roommates who ate his food. That's annoying. Yep. Here's a hack for a hotel room. Never, ever, ever use the glasses. They're never clean. Bring a few disposable red cups. You're welcome. Oh, I don't even want to know, do I? Oh, putting food packages back empty or nearly so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if that's on this list. That's top 10. That's in the top 10 for me. It happens here. Worst is when you're in a group and people don't contribute to the tip. Yeah. Again, the whole splitting of tabs and stuff is just often not a good idea. And then worse than the wanting to split the bill equally when it's not really equal. Number 64, worse, someone who expects you to pay. Number 65, hair stuck to the wall in the shower. Where? Where is this happening? Where are you that someone, I'm guessing it means someone else's hair? If it's your hair, how could it be a pet peeve? If it's someone else's hair, where are you that someone else's hair is on the wall in the shower you're using? What does that mean? Number 66, microaggressions. Microaggressions aren't even a pet peeve, really. They can be straight up harmful discrimination. So I watch a lot of the body language type channels here too. So I know about like facial microaggressions. I don't think that's what this means. I'm interpreting this to mean people that deliberately do something that's offensive. They pretend like they don't know or that they didn't mean to do it. It wasn't on purpose. But I don't know how that fits in. Could be straight up harmful discrimination. So maybe I need to look into what microaggressions, what that really means. Number 67, confusing personality traits for astrological signs. What? It says, oh yeah, you're a Sagittarius? Well, it doesn't give you an excuse to be a jerk. Okay. Still not sure how that fits into pet peeves. Number 68, people who talk to you while you're reading. Yes, that's a pet peeve. That's a pet peeve. Now, it's different if I'm reading and someone comes to me and says, do you have a minute? Or can I ask you something right quick? But when I'm obviously in the middle of reading or doing like schoolwork, like taking a test online, and someone just comes up and starts talking. Hey, you know what happened? I was at the 7-Eleven. This guy comes in and just talking. Like it's obvious that I am intently working on something. I might have even told the person I'm going to be taking a test, so I need the next, hour uninterrupted. Okay? Maybe that's a microaggression. So that's in top 10 territory. I don't know how many things I've put in my top 10 territory already. It feels like more than 10. Number 69, unsolicited advice. Yeah, could be. Number 70, typos in emails. Oh, yeah, it's a pet peeve, but it's almost more of a pet peeve because I've done it. And again, I'm horrified after I do it. It's like it's not anything that results in some inappropriate, scandalous thing I typed, but just because I know how I make judgments sometimes when I see people use words wrong. And it's, if it's obvious that it's just a typo, that the O and P keys are right next to each other. And so that's what I hit. I hit the wrong thing. So, okay, no points off for that. But I still am embarrassed by it. And I feel like it means I need to slow down, take a minute, and not feel like I got to rush through. Up there with the somebody talking while you're reading. People who just start talking at you, go away. Right. Pedrosa, John, darn, I thought I was going to be a Nigerian prince. That's what the email said. Oh, yes. We got more grammar issues here. Erica, agree. I get mad at myself for typos. In others, no problem. Some are hilarious. Yeah, again, it depends on the word, and sometimes it's obvious it's just a typo. It's not ignorance about the meaning of a word or how to use it. Number 71, someone who doesn't flush the toilet. Oh, again, I don't know why that would be called a pet peeve. It could definitely be a pet peeve. It's something that happened a lot. Number 72, loading the dishwasher incorrectly. Okay, I know there's that whole meme thing about this, but yes, it's a problem for me. Yes, it's a problem for me. It's a pet peeve. Number 73, the person who doesn't, oh, here we go. Number 73, the person who doesn't understand the difference between I'm going to make sure I don't have any typos. The person who doesn't understand the difference between your and your. Now, I'm not talking about the way you say it, okay? I'm not talking about, I can see that you might say your as in your husband, your dog, your home, and your, I understand some people might just say you're going to be sorry. I get it. I feel like I do say them a little bit differently, but when I share my list of words, I think some of you may have already posted that earlier when you were sharing words on, oh, John's guilty of the dishwasher thing. At least you're honest enough to admit it, right? And you can say, I'm sorry, right? Were you here already when we did that pet peeve for people that can't say they're sorry? Number 74, having your name written or pronounced wrong. Yeah, that can be kind of pet peevey. My maiden name is Meza, M-E-Z-A. It seems like it should be very easy to pronounce. I know from a Spanish, it's Latin. It's a Latin name. So I know that technically it should be pronounced Meza. Okay. But I heard so many pronunciations of that growing up. And I don't know where people thought where the extra letters were coming from or the extra consonants but I don't know. I mean, it hasn't been happening. I mean, people don't use my maiden name now when they say my name, but I can see where it would be a pet peeve. But if you've got a really weird name, I don't think that you should be hung up about people mispronouncing it or misspelling it or writing it wrong. Yeah, it's a Latin last name. And I'm sure it's like an Americanized version of some other thing. That bothered me when I was a kid. Now, as long as you aren't calling me late for dinner. Yeah, right. Priorities. You grow up and figure out what's most important. So again, back to the mispronounced or misspelled names and things. I just don't think you should get hung up about it. If you have a really unusual name, if you have a really strange spelling of a traditional name, I don't quite get that because I feel like that's setting people up for mispronounced names and misspelled names. And I guess some parents maybe just think it's clever. Okay, we're going to call him Ed, but we're going to spell it A-E-H-D. Why? Like, so that your child can, again, spend his childhood being stressed out because people butcher his name every time they see it. Hello, Lee at First Floor Audio. Thanks for being here today. And number 75, seeing a close friend on social media without interacting with your posts. I guess that means you get hung up because your friend on Facebook didn't like your picture. I don't think that is something that should be an issue. And yet it's part of what's wrong with social media. I think a lot of people go to social media for affirmation and validation and justification and all the Asians that you can get from that. And I'm not saying it's always bad to feel a sense of validation or something because of the way people respond to you or interact with you. But if you're doing it just for that reason, you're going to be disappointed a lot of times. I can tell you that already. And everybody else has their own issues going on, okay? They may need validation and justification and all of that a whole lot more than you do. Did you like everything they put on their Facebook wall? Did you? So I don't know about that being a pet peeve. I think that says more about the person that's peeved than it says about the people that are peeving them. But I wanted to let's see Eric's comment. People in chats are always typing Erica or Olson when my name is plainly printed right there, but it doesn't bother me. I just ignore it. Right? It's not, And I think sometimes when people do that, they're not intentionally. They're like not intentionally trying to offend you. My name gets spelled with a C a lot. I'm Kathy with a K. I always thank people when they ask my name and I tell them my name's Kathy and they ask with a C or a K. I thank them for asking and tell them it's with a K. But I don't get bent out of shape if they type it with a C or write it with a C. Okay, but so my top words. Oh no. I'm going to do my top words and then I'm going to do my top grammar thing that it hurts me. It hurts me to see it. And it happens so much. Someone already typed, it may have been Erica. There, and there. So there, we'll do these on their own. The word there, meaning a place. It's a position holder. There. I put it there. I went there. He's from there. Okay? It represents a place, a space in the universe. Okay? And the word there, which is a possessive word. It shows ownership somehow. It's their turn. That's their car. It's their favorite thing to do together. It belongs to them. It's a possessive. It's there. Okay, and then the word there. The contraction of the two words, they are. So anywhere you see this spelling, you should be able to replace it with they are. They're driving too fast. They are driving too fast. They're going to be late for school. They are going to be late for school. They're just cruising for a bruising. They are just cruising for a bruising. Okay? So none of those other words would fit there. And then the your and your, we talked about that one already. But the top one, I just want to tell you, I want to, she's long gone, Miss Dodd, my third grade English teacher. Was that, or Miss Johnson? Miss Johnson was my English teacher in the third grade. And we learned the helping verbs. Is, are, was, were, am, be, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, will, shall, would, could, must, may, might, can, and should. Okay? You can play that back if you want to get them all. I've always remembered that. So, and we call them helping verbs. They're sometimes called auxiliary verbs. I think there's probably some other term for them now. Because, Common Core, you got to think of a different way to do everything. So there are some words that are not to be used unless they are accompanied by one of those helping verbs or a combination of those helping verbs. Could have, should have, must have. And the word in question, let me take that off, is, I'll just apologize if I'm going to offend anyone here, but maybe you don't know. I see this so much that it has to mean some people don't know. The word seen. This is a public service announcement. The word seen, if you have any desire to demonstrate mastery of the English language or respectfully and appropriately use English words when you are writing them or typing them, please know that the word seen should not be, cannot be, must never be used alone to describe an event where you saw something, okay? So it's improper, it's at the top of my list of pet peeves. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I'm a grammar nerd. I'm a book nerd. I love the English language. I know I sometimes mess it up and I misspell something and I have typos, but I for sure know that you cannot use this form of the word see without it being accompanied by is, are, was, were, am, be, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, will, shall, would, could, must, may, might, can, or should, or some combination of those. Typically with seen, it needs two of those. Maybe three of those, maybe three different words. So it's just wrong. And this is what I see a lot. And I see this, y'all, I see this from what I think these are articulate people, these are educated people, these are mature people, these are worldly experienced people, and they come in to say, I seen a raccoon on my back porch this morning eating the cat food. So they mean they saw it. It's something they saw, okay? And I don't know where that comes from. And it's a relatively new thing. I don't remember this being an issue, 20 years ago. Seen. So in that instance, what they would say, what would be proper would be to say, I saw a raccoon on my back porch this morning eating the cat food. Why even think you need a substitute for the word saw? People know see and saw, right? But seen, you must have seen it. It was right in front of you. You must have seen that raccoon. Okay? You see how I just did that? You must have seen it. You should have seen it. I made it super big so that you could see it. You must have seen it. You should have seen it. But seen is not the past tense of saw. The past tense of see. It's its own word. And it has to be. Y'all, please, pass it along. Share my stream. Enlighten people. Seen cannot be a standalone verb. Ever. Ever. For any reason. I'm not talking about if you're not a native English speaker, okay? If you're visiting from some other place besides here in America or, where we speak English, I get it. You don't have to know all this stuff. You weren't in Miss Johnson's English class. Maybe you don't have the list of helping verbs memorized. And there aren't a lot of words like this. So there are other words that are past tense liked. I liked it. I would have liked it more if it had been bigger but seen can never be used alone. And it's so common. It's so common from every kind of person that I don't understand where it comes from. It's at the top of my list, y'all. I'm feeling actually very blessed and fortunate right now that when I'm doing my Grinchmas here to get my pet peeves out so I can release them to the universe and focus on the happy and the positive and the joy of the season. How blessed am I that that's my biggest pet peeve? How blessed am I? That's a wonderful thing. Look, I'm already turning it around. I've released it now to me and I can focus on the good part of that. That's my biggest pet peeve is people that use this word wrong and those other words there, and your. I am so fortunate. I'm so fortunate. I know there's someone in my chat right now that really has something unfortunate happening. So, wow, how lucky can I be that all I can really complain about today is people that use bad grammar. But I did have those other things that were in my top 10 territory. Yeah, life is good. Life is good. And that's what I want us to focus on. So we're getting rid of all of this. Well, let's see. Here's a message from Ritz. The same can be said for the word said. Some classmate would say, I seen my grandma and she says, do you have plans this weekend? Oh, yeah. See, that's, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know where that comes from. And every now and then, even I'll read a book where there's a mismatch of tenses like that. And I just think, who's proofreading? Get a new proofreader. Let's see. Oh, my pet peeve is when people use the word like after every word. I don't, and that's been around a long time. Oh, wait. Y'all are trying to hurt me here. Okay. Let's see. Let me go back up. Oh, I've missed a lot of great things. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, I missed a lot. Pet peeve using numbers for words. How do you mean? How do you mean using numbers for words? Like it's a first? Like that's a first. Oh yeah, y'all want to see my tattoo? That, and I say that because that was the thumbnail for the tattoo. A first for cat. There's my tattoo. My Bandit and Cooper tattoo. It looks so good and it feels so good, and I'm so happy that I got it. Um, Too funny. I seen the sun this morning. Hey, me too. I seen the sun this morning too. And I seen it was real windy here yesterday. Do you know, let's see, did you know peeve means a logging lever? No. What is a logging lever? Or be like? Oh, but yeah, back to like. People that use like a lot. To me, that's like a valley. To me, that's like a Valley Girl thing. Like, like, and I say that I don't watch Saturday Night Live anymore. I mean, I might see little bits of it here and there, but there's a recurring skit, I guess, still the Californians, and they like talk like this, like that whole Valley Girl kind of thing. I hope you guys are all old enough to know what I'm talking about with the Valley Girl thing. And so that's what I think of when people use the word like too much. Yes, Lee is English, but I would imagine you have a better command of American English than most Americans do. Okay. Ritz had a classmate who used seen constantly. Yeah. I don't feel like I hear it said as often as I see it written or typed. But it's so common now. I don't understand. I don't understand how it started. Oh no, tell me that's not a thing. Oh, Nora, tell me that's not a thing. Seen. Oh. Oh. I saw a meme somewhere about what you're getting from Santa. Something like Santa's been looking at your Facebook and you're getting a dictionary this year for Christmas. Right. Peeve comes from peevish, which is an old English word. Yeah. Grammar police unite. We could get uniforms or costumes and scour the internet. Oh, I seen my grandma over the weekend and we seen a movie together. Oh, please. I'm going to be nauseous now. And yet that is exactly like something I would see. Somebody type on Facebook or whatever other social media thing. I seen my grandma over the weekend and we seen a movie together. And they have no idea. Y'all, they have no idea it's wrong. So whose fault is that? The funny thing about grammar is English is one of the most evolving languages. It literally gets updated constantly, and it does. But please tell me, because in a perfect universe, it will never be acceptable to use the word seen the way I've been describing. I've seen it. I've seen it. Okay. I have seen it. I apostrophe VE. I've seen it used. Lee's pet peeve is when people use the word. Okay, we looked at that one. Hillbillies. Again, I don't want to offend anyone. I'm just being real. We're talking about pet peeves, and that's partly because I was thinking I would do like a Grinch kind of stream, and I thought, well, what could I do that was Grinchy? I thought pet peeves. That's kind of Grinchy because it takes away from the spirit of the season. that's what Grinch is about. Grinch is about being the opposite of what the season is supposed to represent, right? So to me, pet peeves, they take away from what we should be focusing on right now. And so that's, in case you're wondering how that got connected in my brain. Um, I just posted a thumbnail with like on Wednesday. uh, let's see. Forgot one of my quotes and I'm blabbering about punctuation. Seen did. Oh, these have got to be, I'm going to be sick after this stream, y'all. I watched a trail a few days ago, a trial. Aha. See, this is how typos work, but I understood based on the context of the whole sentence here. I watched a trial a few days ago and the lawyer sounded like she was uneducated right off the street. Again, right. And if you could not trust that person to even manage her own language effectively and properly and respectfully, why in the world would you trust that person to handle a potential life or death or jail, prison sentence opportunity? Maybe that's not fair to think of it that way, but that's how I think of it. It should be so easy that if you butcher that, oh my goodness, how are you going to manage taking care of something that's really, really serious? Did it hurt somewhere a lot? Oh, it hurts. It hurts. How about same difference? Yeah, what is that about? Is that an oxymoron? Or maybe it literally means let's say you have two equations and one is 3 times 9, right? And one is 21 plus 6. Or minus, I guess we should do minus since it's difference. 9 minus 3 or 10 minus 4. Same difference. So there could be literal uses of that. Lee had his shades on today. Used to make words on my LED calculator. Oh, yeah, that was the thing. It could say hello. I don't remember what else we could type. All right. California owns the word like. My spelling without spelling check would not be as eloquent. There's another thing. Well, I guess Facebook doesn't have spell check, right? Let's see. Hey, Dark Lord Minute, thanks for being here today. English is made from every other language in the world. It's why it's the hardest language in the world. That is very true. That is very true. But I bet they don't say whatever the word for seen is by itself in the other languages either. Oh, why does that one bother me so much? Oh, it bothers me so much. John says if he didn't have spell check, he probably wouldn't have a job. See, pet peeves, come over to my house and see my family, the zoo. There's pet peeves and then there's pet peeves. Yep. Criminal trial. Oh my goodness, that's just wrong. So again, public office. I already have my issues with the government in general, okay? And my opinion is that 99% of people in public office now are just not fit for the job. Okay? There, I said it. Not about party. It's not about platform. It's just about who they are, basic decency. Now, it's not something I would want to do. So there's that little catch-22. If you think you can do a better job, do it yourself. But if I am watching a debate or I see someone do a commercial or I'm reading a print ad for somebody and they use bad grammar, I instantly equate that with subpar ability to manage things. It might be wrong. I know that. I own that. Okay. That's just me. And I know there's the schmoozers out there that, they've just got beautiful words. They are so eloquent and gifted and they're full of baloney. Okay, I know that, but that's just my thing. Let's see. Ritz also watched a trial on live stream where the defense attorney was highly inarticulate. Her vocabulary was atrocious. Yeah. It's almost embarrassing every now and then when you see somebody in a position where they have to speak in front of people and be, in the public eye, maybe be televised, and it's obvious that is not their wheelhouse. Again, how effective can you be? Your job as an attorney is to win arguments, is to prove a case in front of other people that don't have that responsibility. And how do you do that if they maybe leave after you've spoken thinking, what the heck? Oxymoron, government intelligence. Absolutely. Reminds me of this old vaudeville skit where the lawyer does want to pay $2. Reminds me of this old vaudeville skit where the lawyer does want to pay $2. I don't know that skit. Okay, same trial, I think, Ritz. A cluster. Love the judge, though. The lawyer does not want to pay $2. Oh, does not want to pay $2 and ends up bankrupting his defendant in court fees. Seen, saw in Italian, it's OVO. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. The rest of the time, it depends on the rest of the words around what is said. Yeah, and again, I speak enough French to know that there are situations like that as well in French, where you have to know the context then to know which of the words it is or what the meanings are. But because someone decided English needed to be so much more complicated than that, we have all these other words and all of these there's another whole stream. Words that, the string of letters is all the same, but they're all pronounced differently. Bow and through and though and trough and let's see. If I ever need a lawyer, I'm calling Kathy to find me one. Oh yeah, I'll gladly at least do an interview and let you know my thoughts on how they manage speaking. Inflection can mean a lot, especially in other languages. In Spanish, papa can either be a father or a potato. Yes. So yeah, in Spanish, so the word pero, like I didn't even realize so my grandparents, I'm Mexican American. My grandparents on my father's side were from Mexico. They spoke fluent Spanish. And as a little girl, I understood most of what I heard, when they would talk. I couldn't say it all. Just like, you might have an 18-month-old that you can speak to the 18-month-old. You want a cracker? Do you want to go outside? Do you want your baby doll or whatever you're asking for? And they know what you're saying. They couldn't say all of it back to you, but they know what you're saying. So that was me as a little girl growing up around Spanish-speaking grandparents. But the word pero, so I thought it was just a dog. And then for whatever reason, at some point when I heard someone say the word pero, and it meant the word but, as in, caveat, like, well, you can do that, but it's going to cost you $10 and I thought, what is it the same word? So I still don't know. Is it spelled the same? Is it really pronounced the same? And you just, again, have to base your interpretation on the context. Or is there a difference in the spelling? Is it supposed to be pronounced a little differently, but it's so slight that a non-Spanish speaker might not pick up on it? Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm missing some more stuff. Okay. And not English from England, English from America. Yes. English from England is totally different from American English. Yes. All right. Ritz is fluent in Spanish and amazed by how many people I meet who also speak it rather well too. You never know. When I travel, I also ask people what languages they speak. So my story about Spanish, again, don't ask me why I don't speak Spanish, because I grew up around Spanish-speaking grandparents. My father spoke fluent Spanish, so it was around a lot. I definitely would have had the opportunity to become fluent in it. And then in high school, I decided I wanted to take French. So I'm not fluent in French anymore because I haven't used it. Because everybody in Texas that doesn't speak English speaks Spanish. But when I've been to Spanish-speaking countries, I can most often use the French word because the Latin roots are the same. And so the words are similar enough that I can be understood. And if they're having trouble, a little pantomiming goes a long way to give them the context they need. Okay, here we go. So John is going to settle oh, wait, hang on. I'll make sure I didn't miss. Yes, but close enough to understand. Then there's the issue, Ritz, that now most languages like Spanish, it's now mixing with Italian. Yeah, blurred together. Fun fact, not that this has anything to do with spoken languages, but I know sign language. Again, it's a use it or lose it language, so I'm not as fluent in it as I used to be. But I learned as I was studying and learning sign language that there are dialects of sign language. So a particular sign that might mean something here in Texas might not mean that same thing in Massachusetts or whatever. And I found that so interesting. And for those who may want to know, my signed name is Kathy. That's the letter K. Now, you get a signed name from the deaf community. You don't get to pick your signed name. And my hair is naturally curly. And when it was nice and healthy, I always wore it was always long and it was very naturally curly, very kinky curly. And so the more time I spent with the deaf community as I was learning sign language, I was given that's my signed name. And you do your fingers down like that beside your hair because again it's the K for Kathy and then it represents the curls of my hair and that's my signed name. And I learned that that is a huge honor to be given a signed name from the deaf community. So, but again, back to languages, even sign language, it can be a blend of things. There are dialects in sign language. Uh, all right, so John is settling the pero thing. Pero is but with one R. Pero is dog with two R's. Okay, so it's not my imagination. If I'm not looking at the word and I just hear someone saying it, I would have to know what else they're saying. They are saying their THEY apostrophe RE saying to understand what it means. Okay, I feel a little bit better about that. And then Ritz, Dark Lord Minute. Yes, there are tons of variations. I met a lot of people in France who speak Spanish, which was fun because I speak no French. I had a few friends whose families came from Mexico, took Spanish thinking an easy A as they spoke Spanish at home. They failed. Interesting. I think I would have done well in Spanish. I did very well in French. We used to do, so I took 3 years of French, last 3 years of high school. I mean, here at the time, it wasn't high school till you got in the 10th grade, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I took 3 years of French and there were competitions. We would go up to, well, now it's called, what's it called now? Now I think it's called North Texas State University. Is that right? Or is it now called the University of North Texas? Whatever. Up in Denton, there's a college, and there was a big French competition, a regional French competition that would happen every year. And I sang in French. I recited poetry in French. I told a story in French, and I would win gold medals for my pronunciation. But I did that because the French teacher I had, who's still a friend of mine to this day, and I remember one of the very first days in the very first class I took with her, she said to the class, I just want to tell you now that if you are not willing to pronounce the words correctly, I don't want you in my class. So, Texas, we have a tendency to have a drawl. And if you've ever watched King of the Hill, Peggy on King of the Hill is a Spanish teacher, I think, but she speaks Spanish with her Texas drawl. So, como está? Donde está el baño? She just sounds very Southern, very Texan as she's speaking Spanish. And so that I always think back to my French teacher saying, if you're not willing to pronounce the words correctly, I don't want you in my class. And that did weed out some people. And I remember being really impressed. We'd have like some of the football jock guys in there in French class, and watching them evolve and kind of get over. There was almost some level of embarrassment for them to really pronounce the words correctly. And then it was just a celebration when they would get to the point where they really would say it correctly. Uh, I'm truly fascinated by people who speak lots of languages. That is amazing. Oh, and I wish I did. And Jerry says, oh, I mixed something. Jerry says, LOL, Kathy, you know I love you. So do you want to tell us how you really feel about some words? Oh, don't even make me go even farther down the rabbit hole. Mexican Spanish and Spain Spanish is different. Yes. But there are some crossover because the Spanish were the ones that tried to gentrify the locals. Right. And then about sign language, there are many sign languages. Anthony Eagle on Facebook, TikTok, etc. signs songs in Native American Sign Language, and people who use ASL give him hell. I didn't know there was Native American Sign Language. See? And so as I'm learning, and I learned sign language, so there was a class I took, but there were a lot of people from the deaf community that were in the class, which was awesome because it gave you opportunities to practice and interact and use what you learned, real world applications, right? There are deaf singers. And so, and that seemed like an oxymoron to me when I first heard about it. But I learned that there are deaf singers who they feel the rhythm. So, I mean, they're signing the song. They feel the rhythm of the song, like through the floor. So when the song is playing, there are vibrations, right? And they are attuned in enough to those vibrations that they stay in time with the song. And that just really fascinated me. Okay. Dark Lord Minute. Yep. Lived on a reservation for a year. There's a difference. Oh, that is fascinating. Spanish slang and phrases is where you really need to think before you speak. We had an exchange student at my high school my senior year, Guy Suzanne from France, who taught us all the nasty words. I don't remember them now, but he thought that was really funny. We thought that was really funny because it wasn't anything we were going to learn in French class. And it was a great opportunity to practice with someone. So I can sing the French national anthem in French. And when I meet French people, I still try to communicate in French with them, but use it or lose it. Let's see, Beethoven, right. There's a vibration. Everyone knows that, right? Sound creates vibrations. But I just was fascinated to consider how deaf people can be involved in music. So that's it for today. You guys have been a lively bunch. I'm more excited now about thinking that I might take the streams in a different direction and just do fun things like this, and maybe share some stuff that maybe you didn't know, or share some things that I have in common with you, and then we can hash it out here in the chat. This was a treat for me. And again, at the end of the day, I'm just feeling so lucky that my biggest pet peeve is people who use the word seen wrong. Golly. I have to put this date on the calendar. I'll have to celebrate this along with the holiday every year, just to remind myself how good I really do have it, even when I think I'm so busy or unappreciated or whatever it is I might think I have that's a problem. As always, thank you guys for being here. I'm going to put my my little banner here again to show you. These are channel members who have YouTube channels. So they are members of RichKatRanch. They pay the little monthly fee to support the channel and show their appreciation and love to us. Those memberships start at 99 cents a month. So super inexpensive. And I will always keep you updated on where they are with their subscriber counts. And as today, I'm going to be doing that. I'm just going to focus on our channel members who have YouTube channels, and we'll visit their channels, see what they have new, what videos they have that are new for you to watch, if they've got new shorts, or I'll add community tab posts to that for the next video. Thanks again to those who were with me live today. That's more fun for me, obviously, but thanks also to those who watch as part of the rewatch crew, because it still supports the channel. It means a lot, and it keeps me, it keeps me out there. It keeps me circulating. So I appreciate you guys for that. If you'll hit the like button for me, I would so appreciate that. Um, let's see, I've got a couple comments I missed. Truth be told, it's not really grinching because we're still laughing and having fun. And again, I'm glad you see it that way, because I thought that's how it would turn out, that we would talk about some of these and some of them would just be just funny in and of themselves. If you missed the first half of the show, I did some funny headlines. I may try to come up with some more of those, because as I was looking for them, some of those really, the first time I saw them, I was like in tears laughing. So I may do some variations on a theme for that and offer some of those to you with each stream. I might do a Christmas stream, open panel Christmas stream. I thought we'd do open panel today, but I feel like we stayed plenty busy doing it the way we did it. What day is Christmas on? Christmas is on a Monday, so it won't be a live stream day. So maybe on that Friday the 22nd, I'll do a live stream. I'd love for it to be like an ugly Christmas sweater or Santa hat. You know, that's how you can get on the screen, is you have to have a Santa hat on or an ugly Christmas sweater, some kind of Christmas garb. But I had a good time. You guys just remind me of why I do YouTube. This is very, it's energizing for me. And it felt like less work today. This felt like less work to just do fun things and share. So I want to find ways to do that a little more often in the stream. And I made it through the whole stream with my contacts. They still feel good even right now. And I could read. So I was concerned. It's been long enough that I wore my contacts. I didn't know, is the prescription still right? Is, am I going to have trouble? Am I, and that would have been the determining factor also in whether or not I could keep wearing them. And I wanted to share something too that was fun for you. So when I was looking, what was I looking for? I don't know what I was looking for. I was looking through the closet for something earlier today. And of course the summer's gone now. I don't need this, but a couple of months ago we were out somewhere and I asked Richard if he knew what I had done with that fan. I bought this in New York. I don't know that you can see. I think that's, I don't know what that says on there. It's got a word on it. I bought this in New York just because it was cute. And over the years, we've been out someplace, or like if we went camping, for sure, I would have it with me. We're sitting around the campsite and I could at least have that to fan myself. But I couldn't find it for years and years and years and years. So I'm digging through the closet today looking for something. And I found this old handbag. And in it was this thing. So my little fan, I thought I might need it today because it was a little bit warm in here today, but I've got a couple of fans going, so those took care of that. But nothing else I need to tell you. My Vlogmas video for today will go public at 6 p.m. I'm still enjoying that. There's a lot of dog focus, so apologies if you don't want to see the dogs a lot, but they are a big, big part of my day every day. So if I'm going to be vlogging, odds are good you're going to see something that has to do with the dogs. I tried to record some songs for you guys day before yesterday. My throat is not ready for that. So I'm still going to have to do some practicing and singing every day to keep everything warmed. Like right now, my throat is so dry just from talking during the stream today that I'm going to have to do some hydrating in the days leading up to recording some songs. But I still think I want to do at least one Vlogmas video where we're going to do songs for you. And part of what I want to do in a stream is I want you guys to challenge me. This is going to sound really corny. Challenge me to a 10 whistle Christmas songs. So like you have to type in the name of a Christmas song and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to play it on the 10 whistle. Okay. So this is a 10 whistle. This is from, well, I bought it in Ireland. Oh, maybe I bought it in Scotland. Fidog is the, I don't know. Yeah, you can see that. So maybe that, now my eyes aren't good enough to see the rest of that text, what that might say around that label. But I bought 2 of these and brought them home from the UK. Ooh. From when I was on tour in the UK years ago. And every now and then we get those out and have a little fun with it. Richard was playing on one of them for Posey, now Daisy, who lives with Jerry and Susan at Butler Family Farm. She was so captivated by the sound of that little tin whistle. So maybe I'll do a tin whistle video and the dogs will, and see what the dogs do. But y'all can be thinking of rather some Christmas songs, and I'll see if I can play them on the tin whistle for you. Thank you, Connie. Thank you all for being here. You guys are a blessing to me. And this is a Christmas gift to have you show up for my live today. It's a gift every week when you show up for my lives. So thank you for that. I will see you next Friday. Hopefully I'll have something that's at least as fun, at least, almost as fun as what we did today. I hope it was fun for everybody. Have a good weekend. Be safe, be happy, be well, be blessed. I hope you're having good weather wherever you are. It is beautiful here. We are, I was doing that for a few streams in a row. We are at 79 degrees right now. It was only supposed to get up to 75. So this is a typical December, though. This is more what Decembers are like. So when we get those freakish cold spells, we don't know what to do with ourselves. So that's all for today. I'll leave the chat open for a little while so you guys can say your farewells. Again, I love you guys. I thank you for being here. Check out my Vlogmas at 6 o'clock. Still have shorts going up every day. So thank you to those of you that are keeping up with my shorts. Sometimes I think I'm running out of ideas and then I get a little burst of creativity. So send me vibes for another burst of creativity because I'm kind of in a lull right now. But I'll see you next Friday. And I'll see you around on the channel with all these Vlogmas videos going up. And that's it. I love you guys. Bye.